She's just sweating. I'm walking through my pie.
Yeah, he said there was like 4 different starters for the truck. He's like, let's make sure we get the right one. It looks like there's like 4 options.
Sweet.
There's not like just other options. It's like, was this motor made in America or was it made in Japan? Super cool.
So now you know.
My other starter wasn't even tight.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's nice, isn't it?
Oh well.
I have to take the bolt out, and I loosened one bolt, and the whole starter started moving. It's like, oh, that's inspiring.
You got the right one now, so.
Yep.
Shouldn't take you too long to put it back in.
Hopefully not.
Oh, now you have a nice swept garage.
See why they didn't tighten this last time. It's very horrible. Good and tight. I'm going to pull the fuel pump relay and just try to crank this just to make sure that I don't put the intake manifold down just to find out a surprise. Okay. Fuel pump. Pop the battery cable on loose. Alright. Battery cable off, put the fuel pump relay back in. Start getting the intake manifold on. Fresh and clean. Alright. Change the intake gasket out. Probably reusable, honestly, but Velcro makes them thick. But we'll put a new one on.
Yeah.
Paper towel.
Who's that? His hair up, have a buddy.
That's a friend of his and Sophie's.
Oh, cool. I love that for him. I don't think mopping this floor is making a difference.
Well, it doesn't look cleaner, but it probably is cleaner.
Maybe a pressure washer.
You hear that
I
little,
heard their baby rooster.
yeah, a little rooster trying to crow?
Uh-huh.
Pretty sad.
It's adorable. Well, this walkway area was better at least.
Alright, let's get an intake and slide it in. those. Got somebody hanging out. All right. And we're down. All four corners, gasket's nice. Start running these intake bolts in, get them snug, then we'll torque them. Kind of hard to guide those in by hand. But there's 3 bolts and 2 nuts on each side, so it's not terrible. I want to get this all done because I want to take the boat out today and enjoy some nice weather. Might try to tow the boat with the van just as a trial run. Van supposedly can tow it. My only concern is boat ramp, but better to do that at a lake close to home than over on the coast. So I might go try it out, see how it is, and then if it doesn't want to pull the boat out, we can always just come switch out for the truck. And then it's only 5 minutes from the house or so, instead of an hour and a half away plus on the coast, because we would like to tow the boat with the van in December to the Keys. That way we got a nice comfortable highway ride, because as much as I love the Tundra, it is not the most luxurious of vehicles, especially when you got a wife, a kid, 2 dogs in it. It gets kind of packed, and the air conditioning works, but well, I guess it'll be December, so hopefully we don't need too much air conditioning in December. But the newer Sienna definitely has a more comfortable ride and air conditioning than the Tundra. But we gave it a break because it's a 22-year-old truck, coming up on 23. All right, get the nuts on. One of these I'm concerned about is getting it on the back without dropping the nut. Nobody likes dropped nuts.
Really, Ethan?
I labeled it not for kids, it's fine.
Also, everybody likes dropped nuts, because if your nuts don't drop, you have to go see a doctor.
Oh.
It's a nice try.
I thought it explained my nice singing voice.
Oh boy.
seems kind of tight. Might try a different one. I gotta tell you, kneeling over this engine isn't really the most comfortable route. It's going on much nicer. Last one, put the longer extension on, snug these up, get the torque wrench. I drop the longer extension. I did not look up the torque pattern for this, but I like to start at the back. Just start to seat things down and then move forward in a cross pattern. That way it seats the intake down all together. And you don't really risk having it hung up somewhere. Once I get this started on, I get the lovely wait for an alternator to show up. It was supposed to come in, but with the hurricane, everything's kind of thrown off. Because I also need an alternator. I put an eBay one on here, which I'm learning is a lot of mistakes. Put an eBay one on here 4 years ago, and its voltage regulation is terrible. It's like it'll drop anywhere down from 11.5 to 14.7. It's all over the place, so that needs a change. All right, I need to torque this. We'll go in the same pattern, start at the back. We'll come up and just do a crossing pattern. So remember, when I'm torquing, you hear a click, and then I back off and click. So when I was in high school, shop class, there were some kids that heard my friends and I was always torquing stuff, and they'd hear the double click. So they thought torque wrench clicked 2 times. So one of these kids took it upon himself to think he understood what we were doing. And he did an oil change on his friend's car in shop class. And when he went to torque the drain plug, he turned it. He heard a click, and he kept turning a second click. The bolt ended up going really loosey because he stripped the oil pan out on somebody else's car. So they got a new oil pan. So I always click it twice, but I back off in between. So I just like to, after a torque, come back and just verify everything's still tight. Because sometimes as you torque the whole thing down, one of them will be a pound or 2 loose. So I just prefer not to work on things twice. It's much faster for me to double check than be down the road with an intake leak, because 1 bolt or 2 bolts or the whole thing were not aligned. And you actually see I'm getting about, I don't know, a 32nd of a turn on a couple of these. Especially as you kind of put uniform pressure across the whole intake. Spreads the load of each bolt, so they might have had 30 pounds trying to hold the whole thing down, but once you even it out, it might be at 25 pounds or something. I'm sure it's not near that dramatic, but all right. Now I got to get my fuel injectors back in place. Line up the studs, line up the injectors. Make sure they're all nice and at home. Can use our super long extension we had set up, maybe. I was using a long extension once, maybe it was a long screwdriver. An old guy I worked with looked over at me and he goes, you see, you like to get away from your work. as I'm pushing these down, just make sure that they are going home where they're supposed to be, into their gaskets, and they're not one injector's off to the side a little or something. I don't like to go crazy on pressure on the injector rails. I like to squeeze it down, and then we will prime the fuel injection system and make sure nothing's leaking. And if I have to tighten it down, I can go farther. But I don't like to cram O-rings and gaskets if I don't have to. When I took the intake off, these spacers, the fuel rail slid off of the studs on this side. You need those because they set the proper height and pressure, like we were just talking about, on the fuel injection rail. So slide those back on the studs. Same thing over here. Try to get everybody aligned.
His whole leg? I cut his leg off. You need help?
You're welcome to hang out.
If you don't need help, I'll give it to the NGOs.
"35 minutes into assembly. I don't know if that's making good time or not. But anything I don't have to do twice.
Take it back. It does look a lot cleaner.
I'm happy for you.
Well, it was this half that was really sketchy. I can still redo it. This part still. No bueno. Oh well. Are they looking at your head?
Not really.
Hey, your nipple?
Just my mouth, like one of those faceless channels.
I just swept and mopped and your brush back to pick your shoes up and carry them, please. Just for today. Make me feel better, please.
Alright.
You didn't have any chicken cook?
Injectors are still in place.
Working through it.
Snug.
You dropped something.
Yeah, I've been throwing stuff all over.
Good sense.
Alright.
Need help?
I don't think I'm going to be able to get you up here to do stuff.
I can get up there.
And you're welcome to climb up on that side.
Take your shirt off so you don't get dirty.
Yeah, it's kind of a mess.
I can get up there easily.
20 years of truck grease.
Yummy. I am the master of parkouring on the place.
Parkour.
See, look how easy that was.
Yeah. Tell us a joke, Tom. Nice work.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, you should have your stuff laying around everywhere.
That's so I can use it. And I can get to it without having to get around. Where would you have me put it?
Just want to hold it for you. What's a joke?
Funny.
Say one.
Come on.
I don't know. What this?
Live?
That live.
Yep, so they heard you trying to tell your dad how it is on YouTube Live.
Tell them my favorite joke. The fish. What did the fish say when it hit the wall?
What did the fish say when I hit the wall? Damn.
Watch your mouth. Putting my crossover fuel line back on the fuel rails. Let's get some hoses back in place. We're gonna have to top off a little coolant because we did leak a little out.
Tell me what's coolant.
Stuff that keeps your engine cool?
I used to say antifreeze, but now that I'm in Florida, it never freezes, so it's coolant. Just
You just jinxed us.
consider us jinxed, I guess.
Yeah, now we're gonna have frost this winter. And I'm gonna blame you.
Okay. This looks like it was under here. And in this keeper. Plug, plug, plug.
That plug. What are you doing right now?
Just putting everything back together. I put the starter in.
You got a new one?
Yeah, I had to go to O'Reilly.
Solid.
And so I get to file a nice return with eBay, and that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Throttle cable back up.
It's all end of that's all the way over here.
Yeah. Is there a short bolt over there, or did you kick that one down?
This
Bolt, not a nut.
bolt.
Bolt.
I picked everything up.
I did see as I was putting everything together, I have a loose wire on the fuel injector, so I'll have to repair that connection. Alright, I need two nuts. The ones with the... No, not that one. Nope. That one. Yep. And then...
The little one?
Yeah, the gold one.
This one?
No, the other. Oh, I can see if it works.
Oh, this one?
Oh, it works.
Are you talking about this one?
Yeah, but it's fine.
Oh. Sounds like a truck. We've been doing this for 43 minutes.
Just the install.
Mm.
Okay.
Bolt. Or no.
That one's extra. That was a replacement one. But I found the original one under the intake.
Solid.
Okay. Everything here.
Need the
Fuel line here. And repair an injector wire.
casually talking to nobody.
Yeah, but if somebody needs to install a Tundra starter later, they can watch the video with explanations. Forever.
Forever? No, most of the people in Florida, they're not going to need this because all of them use Fords. Hey, look, I can touch here.
This is the most annoying hose clamp.
I mean, it's a 20-year-old truck. So. How long do you think a Ford would make it?
Don't see that many 2002 Fords running around anymore.
I only see the old cool ones. But the old cool ones are like...
Say old and cool.
Hmm?
They're old and cool.
And they actually work.
That was before Ford was made in Canada and Mexico.
Wait, where was Ford made originally? America, right?
Michigan.
Michigan. America. But now it's made in Canada and Mexico?
So was a lot of Chevy stuff.
Well, that makes sense what happened to that.
If you watch the live video of when I was disassembling, you can see all the individual things coming off. I'm just rehooking all these hoses back up.
Got a nice breeze up here.
Like so. Put everything back in their keepers, even though they're pretty crunchy. But we can act like professionals even if we are working in the driveway. No shirt, no shoes, truck's getting service. You know?
Watch you when you're done slam the truck thing with your phone up here.
That'd be fun.
That'd be funny, yeah. I'm gonna go in.
Had fun storming the castle.
Yep. Try not to smash your light. How big is that butt?
Intake. Oh, getting a cramp. Woo! Been bent up all day. 10 mil, tighten this hose clamp. I had to crimp that wire. I work on a lot of stuff, metric stuff. Always had imports, and look at right there, 10 mil, still have it. I got a whole bunch of them. I don't know. I throw my tools or drop them, but I also pick them up. We're gonna say that, and then I'm gonna go to the toolbox, and I'll have everything but the 10 mil. So it seems like this repair was just heat trunk and whatever, but just not crimped very well. So I slid it in, give it a good crimp, give it a tug, make sure it's tight. Seems fine. Alright, I think now Hook the battery back up, check for fuel leaks from the injectors being out and in. The battery. Try over here. See if she starts. Oh, that's blurry. Let's give that a wipe. Alright, starter's in. I'm only shirtless because I bought a new shirt yesterday and I was wearing it and I thought the wife might murder me if I got it all like trucked. So, oh, I didn't say murder, I said murmur. So, it's in. I'm going to top off the coolant because some leaked out when I took the intake manifold off. And then we're all good. Hopefully, I'll be on the lake in a little bit.